Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. Boom. And today, it's the Rant, number 44, and we're going to talk about how important are drums? Whoa, what's going on? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Jade. This is How to App on iOS. I hope you're all doing well. Yeah. Hopefully. Good. Oh, man. You know what? Monday mornings for me used to be easy. They used to be relaxing. I'd get up here and just talk nonsense for an hour about some kind of thing. And now Walk With Me goes before it. And I've got to sit there through it and watch it all again for the 100th time and get this show ready at the same time. And it's not so easy anymore. The Rant, the Walk With Me just went live. Hopefully, I can see some people here who were there at Walk With Me. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a very weird edition of the show because, I was going there with the intention of it costing me $30 to get in, and when I got there, the amazing staff at the old Melbourne jail was so kind. And I mentioned to them, hey, you're the same people who run the Pentridge, and you gave me a media pass last time. Could you sort me a media pass again? And it just happened, the guy who was at Pentridge was at the jail that day, so he let me in for free, and I got to wear the armour, and it's so funny. Nobody else there was putting it on, and I felt like an idiot putting it on, but I didn't care because you know what? I want to be Ned Kelly for 2 minutes. But it was fun. And I'll tell you what, the other thing, which you probably couldn't pick up on the footage of the jail, was there was just this sound in there that was, I can't explain it. It was like a hum. It was so weird. And there's no way, there's not even worth talking about it, but there was this ominous hum in that jail. And look, I hadn't been to that jail for a very, very long time. And the last time I went there was a kid, and I was scared absolutely, totally, and utterly oh, my Lord. And it wasn't much different this time around. Let's say hello to you all. Welcome to our Wart Warriors. You can become a Wart Warrior by clicking the join button down below or clicking this link here for $1 a month. And you're supporting the channel. I change the custom emojis around, all that kind of jazz, and it really does help. Awesome. Thanks, Thomas. Sling and Links, the man with the links. It's Thomas Christ. Boom. We'll say hello to you all. Then we need to address YouTube for a second. There's an amazing movie about Ned Kelly Gang. There's a lot of movies about Ned Kelly. So if you look out there, there are quite a few. One with Heath Ledger. And so he's been, filmized many, many times. The energy, look, it was creepy. Hi, Ali, Joe Glenn, Thomas Christ, of course, Semtex Cow, lickin'. Edward, good day. Joe, Hugh, what's going on? It's so much fun doing those episodes and showing people outside of Australia these things. And, it's been tough. I'm running out of places to go, but I have a good list at the moment now. I've been trying to find some more oddities and stuff like that. This week's going to be a cool one. It's around a place I kind of lived for a little while and was terrified while I lived there. So there's a bit of spookiness to it in a way, but in a different way, in mental abuse. Have I missed anyone else at the top? I'm just scrolling up here. If I have missed you, Joe Barry Glenn. Boom. I need to talk about, let's talk about Matthias. G'day. I need to talk about YouTube. So, if you were lucky enough to come along yesterday and watch, or unlucky enough to watch the opening hour, you would have seen that we were having a lot of fun. Well, guess what? That episode is gone. It has been blocked and banned, and I don't know why. I'm scratching my head over it. I've sent details to YouTube. So it got a block, okay? And the block doesn't make sense. The block says, and normally when you get a block, you can just go in and edit out the video. But I can't edit out anything. It won't let me edit out any of the clips. And the reason is because it's got something to do with this playlist error that's happening on YouTube at the moment. So if you don't know, there's a problem with playlists at the moment. So see, I don't want to play a song. So see, here are my playlists, right? And I have like this playlist here full of covers. Where is it? Karaoke covers. It's got 301 videos. When I click on it and scroll down, it just stops here. So all 300 videos I can't access. No matter what I do, I can't access them. And it has this stupid recommended videos down here. If I hit refresh, it doesn't do anything. It's not even working. Look at it. There's something wrong with the playlist thing. And yeah, so the video's there's something up. It's been marked as a music playlist. And these blocks, so I took screenshots, sent it to YouTube. I've found a whole lot of forums out there of this happening from time to time. So this is not a new thing. Very odd. So I'm waiting for them to get back to me. And I'm pretty sure I've seen other people say it got cleared up and then you can just cut out the videos. But it was so strange too, because it was for videos that I've done before. Something weird. And normally it takes 12 hours for a video to process, right? And then you get all the copyright claims after 12 hours. This video took 20, hang on, 20. So it went live at 11 yesterday, and at 5 in the morning came through all the claims. So an extra almost 10 hours on top of the usual time. Something's up. This is odd, because normally, as I said, you can just chop out the clips, and I would have gladly chopped out the clips, the 2 that came back blocked, no problem. But I'm going to wait and see what happens. If it doesn't happen, well, you know, yeah, it will go back to public. So that's what I read too. Everyone who's experienced this, it ended up going back to public. So you can't see yesterday's video. The cool thing is any super chats or anything like that was sent, still got all those. And it may just mean I will end up changing the numbers of the shows and that will just disappear into the ether. And that was episode like 148. So 148 is still to come, possibly. Who knows? YouTube, the latest updates they've been doing have been messy. As I said, this playlist problem is crap. And what you've got to do to fix it is pick a song and then the playlist will open to the side. So you can see, look, that's the whole playlist. All right. But when you come back here, and this is any playlist, the refresh button doesn't work. Look, it's not even working. It doesn't even do anything. Something happened in the last update that they did. I don't know what. There's a lot of things going around at the moment. I watched a fascinating video last night on YouTube about AI content and fake videos that are going up and people using ChatGPT to copy other people's videos and take the text and rewrite it and then put out the same video with different footage. And I think YouTube are constantly trying to update to stop this kind of stuff. So there's a lot of changes going on at YouTube that they're trying to work out AI mostly. And there's going to be bugs along the way, you know. Hey, Rhodey, what's going on? E-Urban, hello. I had 4 of my old videos disappear. There's strange stuff afoot at YouTube at the moment. So... but luckily, there's no opening hour this week coming up because guess what, folks? Gladys Worthington is back this week. There will be no opening hour, so the same time as opening hour this week coming up will be Gladys Worthington asking for a friend. The link will go up later today for the show and the link for you to ask Gladys your questions, your burning needs. So your innermost questions. And Gladys will help you through the trying times. That's what she's there for, and not to eat cat food. I'm not going to have Gladys eat cat food again. Maybe dog food. Remember, Russ, a bet's a bet. Anyway, what are we here to talk about today? We are here to talk about drums. Drums, one of my favorite topics. And how important are drums? I want to ask you guys first. Hey, Michael, how important do you think drums are? Are they something that you care about? Because here's the deal, right? There's a lot of us these days who don't play drums, but we make music that requires drums. And for the most part, many of us aren't experts in using drums because we don't play them. It's like, anything. It's like saxophones. You don't play a saxophone and you're trying to replicate a saxophone with a keyboard. It's maybe not going to sound as authentic as a real saxophonist playing. So drums are a thing that I notice that people seem to have a bit of trouble with. And I used to as well before I became a drummer. Before I got myself a kit, I'd played drums for a long time, but not properly, only when I got the opportunity to jump on somebody else's drum kit at band rehearsal. And boy, I did that a lot. I was one of those people. I was the annoying vocalist who at every band rehearsal was like, "Oh, cigarette break. Are you guys going outside?" "Yeah, I'm just going to stay in here." As soon as that door closed, hey, I was on the drums bashing away. And our drummer would come in and go, "Get the fuck off. Get off. You're going to wreck my sticks." And I was like, "But I'm not. I'm very careful." And I wasn't careful. I always used to wreck his sticks because I didn't know how to play properly. But I loved bashing the skins because it was a lot of fun. But drums are definitely a hard thing. And, the first thing I want to talk about drums is if not every song needs drums. It's not important to have drums on every goddamn song. In fact, there's been songs I've released where I've had drums and removed them right at the very end of the production of the whole album that I was doing. It just felt like, and one of those songs on my new album had drums completely, and I just felt it didn't work. I'm going to give you some examples today of this kind of stuff. Bring up my Dread Circus album and make sure we've got everything set by name. And that song is called We Deserve to Be Loved. Now, when I first recorded this, it had drums. Let's load it up here. And they came in right where the rest of this music... I think they came in here, actually, the drums. But I decided I didn't need them because the vocal carries this song way too much. And in my opinion, it's still the right decision because it breaks up the album. So there's my little example of letting you know that, because not all the time drums need to be there. But if you are going to have drums, it is very important that you understand drums and you understand how they're played. And you understand, firstly, the most important thing, because we have these great MIDI controllers and great drum samples and all this stuff now. that can create fantastic drums. But there's a lot of people who use drums the wrong way. Why? Because they put in all the pieces of the kit and don't realize that drummers only have two hands. I've heard this so many times. So many times. Think about it. There's a ride being played and a snare and then and a roll, and there's cymbals being hit while there's a roll going on. Two hands. Drummers aren't octopus. They don't have 8 arms. So when you are drawing MIDI in to create drums, you have to think about it. You have to think about the piano roll, that where are the hands that are doing this? How many hands are free? What hand is doing what? Right? Or it sounds wrong. It doesn't sound like a real drummer. And you want your drums to definitely, if it is an acoustic kit, of course, a bit different than dance, electronic drums or stuff like that. You can get away with whatever you want because you can tell it's an electronic kit. But when you're using an acoustic kit for an acoustic sound, you definitely want to make sure that you're not hitting a ride, cymbal, and toms at the same time, or it doesn't sound natural. It sounds stupid, right? And it was weird. When I was recording this album here that I have in front of me with all these songs, I was fucking it up completely. I was screwing the whole thing up because I was doing that. I was using drummers completely wrong and using the piano roll completely wrong and putting in way too many parts of the kit and didn't realize, some bands have 2 drummers. Very rarely. You may have a percussionist, but that's it too. Like any external percussion and stuff like that. But it has to be thought about. It definitely has to be a thing that must be on your mind when you're creating drums, or it will sound unnatural. I mean, we don't have the luxury, most of us, to have a drum kit in our house. Well, a real, loud acoustic drum kit. I have an electronic kit, and, it's been fantastic having an electronic kit because I'm actually playing the stuff into a song and then being able to go back to the MIDI roll and to the piano roll and change all that stuff up and just add the flair in there that I need, right? And also, the other thing, that we have such great libraries of samples and all this stuff, but velocities are a thing. They definitely are a thing. I don't know if you know this, but velocities definitely are a thing. I'm going to open up another track here with some drums. What do I have? I think I've got, what can we open? We'll just open Nonconformist because that's got some strange drums in it. This track here has multiple drum tracks, multiple drums. Now, I've covered this here on the channel a heap of times about splitting drums because in Logic and GarageBand, 2 of the possibly most used or easily accessed DAWs on iOS, we now have the AI drummers, which are incredible. They are just rad. And you've got so much more control over them compared to the original GarageBand drummers that were very limited. But even then, back in the day, if you go back through a lot of my shows, I've been a big proponent of using things like, if you use an auto drummer, use it to learn from and split the kits up, split the pieces up into individual tracks. It's cool to have a whole drum kit just in one track, but you don't have the power of mixing from a studio point of view. And that's what you want to try and recreate, especially with acoustic drums. Because the deal is, hey, Pete Johns, what's going on? Good to see you. Audible video, if I didn't say hi to you. Kurt, g'day. We are trying to create the sound of having a real drum kit and having it mic'd up and having all those mics in place. So splitting your drums up are going to give you a better sound. And I know, hey, Sean Chandler, there's a lot of people who still use the auto drummers and they're cool, right? But what you don't get from them, you get very basic panning, especially in GarageBand, right? So you get a basic pan cymbal here. Even GarageBand, you only get one cymbal on a kit, which is, I don't know, man. Hearing one cymbal, the same cymbal with no different tonal difference being hit over and over again it sounds rubbish. I have to say it, and this is why I've always suggested splitting your drums up, and it's an easy thing to do, to have everything in separate. Let's just stretch this out a bit so you can see everything here has its own volume, and that way you can EQ different parts of the kit individually. So if we hit play here on this, and you'll see down here I've got two different crashes which alternate. And again, they're different velocities as well, because not every crash has to be the same amount of power behind it. Some things need to be subtle. So we've got a ride up here as well, and you can see the variation of this ride. So all the velocities are it's just going to give you far, far, far more versatility and the ability to really pan stuff out correctly, because with stuff like GarageBand, there's only so much panning, and you may not want one particular, especially if you're using different cymbals, you split things up. They have preordained which side the cymbals are. And I might not want this one on this side, so you get the opportunity to pan them around so it actually makes sense. Because it is important. It really is important, and it makes a difference. You may think, like, sit there and go, yeah, but, like, you know, who's going to pick that up? But I just make music for a hobby. But, you know, then you're just saying you don't give a shit. Like, the opportunity is there. And look, we live in multiple communities here on YouTube where there's I don't know, it feels like a rush that everybody's got to get a new song out by next week to get played on Thomas or get played on Pete's show or get played on... No, you don't have to. Hold back. Hold a song back maybe for an extra week and spend some time on the fucking drums. Honestly, it pisses me off. I sit here and go, wow, over compressed. There's been no love put into those drums. You know what? Every instrument is important, and the drums a lot of the time are the backbone of a song. And if they're fucking over compressed and the cymbals are all shitty and there's no love put into them, guess what? Everything else around them sucks. It just is what it is. And I'm going to rant about it, and because I'm passionate about drums. Since I started playing them, I really care about them, and I write a lot of my songs first around drums because they have to be solid, they have to be on time, they have to be tight, they have to be good. And they, like when I say tight, you can still have humanization in them. They don't have to be on the fucking beat each time, but they have to have love in them, and they have to feel like there's like, it just is what it is. I do, and that's what I'm here to do, Jenny. You wait till next week when I talk about mixing and mastering. Oh, man, I'm going to lose my shit next week because it pisses me off when I hear a good song and the drums are just like, I don't know, they're an afterthought, and like they're the driving thing in dance music, in rock music, in country music. They are the driving thing. They're what gets you doing this, tapping your foot. That's the thing. That's the rhythm. It's not your fucking guitar. You can turn that down, asshole, right? And it's not the singer who's too busy getting chlamydia by having sex with everybody. I can't be everyone's drummer all the time. I am so busy, but it is important to learn and do this thing and split these tracks and even just put in a little bit of effort, a little bit more effort. It's just... it's important. I think anyway that it is. I heard a song the other day, and I'm not naming or shaming, but man, yeah, absolutely, P. You can go and do you. You don't have to listen to me. I'm just ranting, right? It's just my opinion. But I heard a song 2 days ago, and fuck me, the drums are shit. Good God, they were out of time. They were out of time. Fuck. It angers me. You know what? If a song's out of time, guess what? It's fucked. It's fucked. The song is done. I'm going to turn it off. I don't care who the fuck you are. If it's out of time, it's off. I don't want to listen to a fucking song that's out of time, especially when there's a fucking quantize button on every door. Not rocket science. Oh, come on. Simple, fundamental basics of music. You know? Exactly. It can be that. But it does. It pisses me off. I don't go to a gig. If I went and saw a gig and saw Metallica playing and every song was out of time, I'm leaving. I don't want to be there, right? It is harsh, but this is the fundamental basics of music, of that things must be in time, and drums seem to always just be the afterthought, and they're the thing that glues everything together and keeps time. And people have got no excuse, okay? People have got no excuse, especially with the amount of things at every door, in every computer, Mac, desktop, iOS, your phone. There's a metronome in there, and playing to that and getting everything in time is absolutely cool. Now, of course, there are exceptions. There are exceptions. If it's like avant-garde, it has no definable rhythm, sure. Stylistic. But, you know, when I hear stylistic is when they can't be fucked. There's just no love in the drums. And it's really important to get drums to sound good, to make them sound real. Do you know, if you've ever, this is the thing, I think a lot of people, and I'm not shitting on, I'm not naming names, I'm not here to shit on you and make you feel bad, right? As you'll see, you know, this is the shit sandwich in the middle. Speaking of the middle, let's run the ad. Halfway point of the show, we run an ad, and I can calm down. I can let my blood boil less. Every day we run the ad, so everyone gets the ad at the same time. You can avoid the ad by becoming a YouTube Premium subscriber, or just by skipping the ad and coming back. While we're waiting, I can let you know what's coming out. Big week here on the channel. We've got tomorrow, we're taking a look at this cool Wurlitzer from Audio Thing. That's ace. Can't wait to look at that. Then we're talking about one of my pet loves. Of course, it's mastering. That's what I do on the Patreon each week, and that's what I'm going to rant about next week. And Music Hack have released this brand new master plan plugin. If you don't know much about mastering, this thing can help you. Very, very simple mastering, not too bad on the wallet. And I used it this week on the Patreon compared to what I normally do, and it came out pretty damn good. There's that. We are also taking a look this week at something else that I can't find here. This thing's pretty cool. This is a songwriting studio in your pocket to help you create better songs, and it's really fascinating. I like it a lot. Plus, we are heading out with the end of the week with the show I'm waiting for, very excited about. Finally, the Delicate Giants album launch for The Fabric of Everything is happening here on the channel this Thursday, US and UK time. And it's gonna be freaking rad. I got to master this. I've been along the whole journey of this album, and it is just incredible stuff. All right, have I calmed down? I think I've calmed down. Yes, I have. I've calmed down a little bit, yeah? Let me have a coffee. Chill for a second. Right, see, a lot of people, home recording people, who have not had experience working in recording studios or, you know, doing that kind of stuff, you won't know that when you go into a studio and record, pretty much the first day, if you've got multiple days of recording in a studio, say you've got a week in the studio, and that's really cool. The first day, possibly into the second, possibly into the third, is going to be setting up the drums. It's going to be setting up the drums. It's going to be setting up the mics. It's going to be getting a consistent drum sound, something that is the glue that is going to hold everything together. And there's a reason why it takes so long to do that, why it's important to get that drum sound and get that flavor, because that is going to dictate the entire fucking album. That's going to be the thing that holds everything together. And it needs to be the thing, if you're thinking about doing an album, you need to look at it like that. Much in the same way is when you're thinking about drums and, punching into a piano roll, the drum rolls, and thinking about the hands, how is the drummer's hands? How are they going to do this? Is it realistic? Can a drummer actually pull this off? Well, in the same instance of that, if you're writing an album, let me tell you, it's a really good, even just doing 3 songs or 2 songs, and they're coming out perhaps on an EP or something like that, you want to get that sound down. You want to treat it like get into your mind, pretend you're in that recording studio with that engineer, setting up that drum kit and putting individual mics on it. You want to get to thinking like that. Even though you're not doing it, you're hitting a keyboard doing this. But it's important. Why? Because if you're doing, say you're doing a 3-song EP, yeah? 3-song EP. And you get the drum sound for the first song and you do that song and then you come up to the next song and then you start again. The drums aren't going to sound the same. How many albums, really honestly, how many albums have you heard where you've listened to an album and every song the drum kit sounds like a different drum kit? 0. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because an album is recorded by putting a drum kit into the studio, setting that up, and that's the sound. That's the drum sound for the whole fucking album. So if you like, and this is where saving presets and stuff really work. And we have the ability to do it with things like Logic and with Cubase and nearly all DAWs. So when you open it up, you got a little side panel over here where you can save all of your presets. So you can come in here and say, all right, my instrument patches. And look at this. I've got all these drum kits in here. These are my drum kits that I go to, FMC, and I can just drag this drum kit over, and that is going to be the same sound. So when you create your drum kit, you want to save it as a preset. Same with guitar tones. I know we're moving into guitar tones and stuff now, but look at this. Heavy guitar tones, lead vocals, the best drum patch ever. I've got all these presets over here that I can just drag in, meaning the album is going to be consistent. It's the same vocal patch that you can use across every goddamn song and then make slight variations. It's the same guitar sound, right? There's no evidence of Metallica standing in the studio and going, right, James Hetfield, that's your guitar sound for the Justice for All. All right, next song, turn everything off, put all your pedals back to 0, and let's start again. Doesn't fucking happen. But it seems to happen like with a lot of people who make music from home. And hey, again, you can tell me to go get fucked. But I'm just saying, if you want consistency and you want, these are just 10% things, just little things that you get your headspace into that cost nothing except a little bit more time. And you know what? Always spending a little bit more time before you release something, it's always going to be better. But don't be me and sit there with an album of 32 songs and be sitting here for like 10 years and it's still not out. Don't do that. Don't get to that point. That's ridiculous. I wish I could change that, but I just don't have the time to get everything done because here I am doing this. But most of us do have the time. You know what? And here, again, you may not have your song played on Metalhead Hippie for a couple of weeks, more, a little bit longer. Who cares? There's plenty of songs that can be played. There's plenty of people who have a song out every week and, But why not stand out a little bit more and have a little bit more love in there and really make it gel together and really, really like get a second opinion on the mix and everything. But I'll tell you what, here's the deal. When you kind of follow these rules, they're not rules, right? A good song is worth waiting for. It absolutely is. You know? Hey, Polvo, what's going on? And Tristan, g'day. It is, good things take time. And, you know, consistency is key. It absolutely is. And a consistent guitar sound across an entire album, a consistent vocal sound, a consistent drum sound is the magic. That's the thing. I can go through every song on this album of, what are we, 20, how many tracks is it? 24 tracks on this album, yeah? And I can go through every track on here, and the drums are pretty much, it's the same kit. It's the same kit. We can open up Smashing Your Face In, title track. Let's hear the drums. Let's go over here. Again, they're all split up. Right, can unsolo that, get out of here. We can load the next one up. Let's go with something else even faster and crazier, like Adult Sitter. Bring this down here. Drums, here they are up the top. Let's get into 6. Go. Within drunken bomb, human time bomb. Same drum sound all the way through. All the distorted guitars as well on this album, exactly the same patches, because it's got to stay consistent. I know we're focusing on drums, but it is important. Again, what color? I don't know why. I don't know why Logic is doing this bullshit with his conflict resolve thing. Exact same kit again. Because it matters. It really does matter. And I'll tell you what, people will and pick these things up. Because look, listen, not every song is fucking good. Not all my songs. I have released some terrible songs, some absolutely garbage songs that I am not proud of. And I'm sure I'll release some more shit songs as they come along. Not every song's a good one. But I'll tell you what, if I had there's a bunch of them I know if I had to spend a tiny little bit more time and cared about this kind of stuff, it would be a lot better song, right? But again, I just push things out. What do we got? A spinning wheel? Spinning wheel, broke tube. What's going on? Are we still streaming? I don't know what's happening. Are we good? Somebody let me know. I know there's a delay as usual. Are we all good? No? No? It looks like we're still live. I see excellent condition. I don't see I'm offline. We're all good. I guess. No, I'm offline. Error. Not receiving enough. What? Whoa, what's happening? Oh, man. Have I been knocked offline? I'm okay. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. YouTube. You suck. You suck, man. Yeah, there's some terrible stuff going on at YouTube at the moment, I'm telling you, man, from blocking videos because of some playlist error, spinning wheels, all this kind of stuff. The point I'm clearly trying to make is that drums are important, just like all this kind of stuff, just like saving these presets. Now, if you take just that little bit more time to look, here's the thing. I'm gonna pick on somebody specifically because he's a patron, right? Now, I offer over on my Patreon the opportunity for $1 a month, it's cheap as shit, for people to send their music in and I will master it for you. But the value isn't there. That's not where the value is, right? The value is not in the mastering because there's tools you can do. You can master shit yourself. Logic has its own mastering in there, which is fantastic. It's pretty easy to do, right? The value that I try to offer there is for you to send in a song and we can listen to it with a very tight-knit group of people and we can give you some honest critique and you can go back and take it away and then have for another week and work on it and then send it back next week so we can possibly master it then. And sometimes people have sent songs in where the drums have been too loud. And Mateus, you know, you've been through this with us. Joe and Barry Glenn, you've done that, right? Send in songs and I've gone, I don't know, the guitar in this side, it's too loud. Then we've had Dan Ekberg, who he's working on an EP at the moment. And one of the issues we had with Dan was his drums, inconsistent sound. Inconsistent. It sounds like different drum kits and he's trying to put together an EP. So the value in the Patreon is I'm trying to help you get a better mix because the mastering can't fix it. It just can't fix it. If the drums are fucked or they're out of fucking time, mastering won't fix it. And if you're happy to release a song that's out of time because of drums, have at it, man. But I'm telling you, every person is sitting there listening to it going, that's out of time. Awesome stuff. It just is what it is. I hate to be that person to say it. Brad, I'm taking your line. It is what it is. Like, people can tell you that it's fucking awesome as much as you want to fucking hear it in a little circle of, but if it's out of time, it's out of time. And it sounds like dog shit. It's just my opinion. It's just my rant. And it only takes that little bit extra to get it in time and make it good. And that's where the value is on my Patreon. To send in a song, it's not the mastering. It's to have critical feedback and say, this can be better. This can be fixed. This can be made better because it's all about the mix. It's all, you got to fix it in the mix. That's why these people say this stuff. The drums have got to sound good in the mix. They've got to sound consistent and they've got to be in fucking time, you know? So what time is this thing I speak of? It's the same. I do it the same time every week on my Patreon at the same time I do this show. So it's on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern US and 3 p.m. on the West Coast and 11 p.m. But that's on Saturday. So it costs $1 to join and you can send your song in. And I didn't mean this to turn into a promotional thing, but it is important. I care, right? You guys, for those of you on the Patreon, no, I do give a shit about your songs. Like we had Mateus send in a song that he's just finished with Semtex Cow this week, and it's a banger of a song. And I'll tell you what, I hope you don't mind me saying this, Mateus. You know, the last few songs that you've sent in, the one with Valerie and the one with me that we worked on, when you first sent them in, the quality was not as, you know, the mixing wasn't as good. The drums were kind of low in places and, you know, Dan's been going through the same thing with his mixes. So getting everything to sound right is super, super important. But look at this week. Mateus sent in his song and the drums were sitting nice. The guitars are sitting nice because you're not going to know until you get feedback, serious feedback that helps. I'm talking about the drums. The next thing you're going to want me to tune my guitars. Oh, dude, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. Yesterday, I nearly threw a fucking cup at my TV. Tune your guitar. Not so much you. You don't upset me, Pole Vault, because you just you don't give a fuck. No, but you know, it isn't. But that is important, especially if you're recording something. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you can say it all. I've seen people do it too. They released a song, and like the guitars are so out of tune, they've gone. Oh no, that's a stylistic thing. It's like, what style? What style is it? Fucking hell. Is it the style of inharmonic noise? What? What's going on? But no, I was going to do a show next week on the importance of tuning one's guitar because, again, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. There is a tuner built into everything. And trust me, on a Patreon, I don't sit here. I'm not a it's constructive criticism, and we normally get the opinion of everybody there. Everybody there has an opinion and throws ideas around for people to go back. And without Patreon, my mixes and drums would especially be absolutely terrible. Yes. And look, again, I don't know fucking everything. I don't know anything. I'm learning every day myself. I'm just saying the stuff that gets me excited about music. I get excited about music. I don't make enough of it. It breaks my heart every day. And I see so many of you make cool music, but I think it can be cooler. And I'm not a believer of, that's good enough. Fuck that shit, man. Why go on in life even though, none of us are going to make it big. We all realize this. We're not going to become Taylor Swift. But why not put in the extra effort and make it cooler? Because you've got unlimited retries, you've got unlimited resources, you've got unlimited time to do this stuff. When you do have the time, because time is really valuable. So I think it is important. I think it's there's been some songs. Listen, there was somebody who joined my Patreon and sent a song in, and I critiqued it and said it's out of time. And they left my Patreon. I'm not saying who it was. They fucking left. And they released the song out of time. And every time I hear it, I just go, oh, fuck. It's out of time. I don't care. It's out of time. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It's the way it is. You can't change it. Once it's baked in and released, it's out of time. And everybody's thinking it. You know how you can tell when something's out of time when you stand there, you're tapping your toe, and you look like Steve Martin from The Jerk. Can I do stuff like that without being cancelled? That's what you look like. Nobody wants to dance to music like Steve Martin from The Jerk. So drumming is really important. Another thing, Pete Johns. Pete Johns makes awesome, catchy music, super catchy. I love Pete Johns' music so much. So much so, I got his first album, and then his later stuff, we became friends, and I was learning drums, and I was really keen to play on some music, and apart from my own. And I put my hand up and said, Pete, would you trust me with your music to play drums? And thankfully he did. And ever since, I've been playing drums for Pete. And it's really cool too, because here's the thing. Sometimes it's good to have an outside drummer as well than your own brain, because you put together a song and you've got this beat and it's kind of consistent, but you don't have the input of a drummer to change things up and define the difference in the song. Like, this is a verse, this is a chorus, this goes half time, this changes out. And every time I send the drums to Pete these days, he hates them. Straight away, he hates them. But he sticks with them because they do make sense over time, And I don't know, if you go back and listen to, I think, Pete's first album, which is a stellar album. It's an amazing album. But then you listen to the drums that I've done since, I think Pete's the same, and I don't know, you might think as well too, that there's more excitement in the song. It doesn't feel like a metronome anymore. And Pete said this before too. Pete said this on his own channel. Hey, Shimmer Soul, thank you so much. Pete has said this many times. He uses the drums as a metronome when he's putting together a song. And I would hear that watching Pete, because I'm an avid watcher of Pete Johns. I respect lots of stuff Pete Johns does. I've learned a bunch of stuff from him and continue to. And when I hear someone say, I'll use the drums as a metronome, then the drums tend to come out like a metronome with no variation and no excitement. So why I wanted to get involved was to take those drums and play them like a drummer and make them have more definition, take the songs to a different place. And it works. It actually works. So velocities, splitting your drum kits up, and you know what? Consistency. Again, I'm hammering home on this stuff. Consistency of your drum kit for across a number of songs. If you're going to release an album, plan it. Plan it. Just, it doesn't take much. Just a notepad with, this is the drum sound I want. This is the guitar sound I'm going to use. Bass sound. And that's it. Stick with that sound. Keep the album consistent. Keep the drums consistent. Keep the guitar consistent. Make it sound like it was recorded in a real studio from a shitty room like this. Yeah? Glenn Fricker does this all the time. He carries on about using this. People use the same loops and the same stuff. But you know what? Even though you're using the same drum sounds and samples, it's how you put them together. It's how you use the velocities. It's how you split them up into your own parts. It's how you give them their own diverse sound. It's the way you have the power. The sample's just the sound, but you can manipulate the sample to make it your own, to make it sound like a real kit. And getting into that frame of mind, whatever it is, of thinking like a real drum kit is super, super important, because it is important. It's the fucking backbone of the song, unless you're not using drums in the song, of course. So, hey, Hobbs. I have a song on my channel. I play metronome. I put cellos, double bass, violin. I had to play them live, no quantize. You won't hear the same drums next Thursday. I'm trying to catch up. I saw something else here. You can set a person's clocks, but you can't make them keep time. You know what? Anyway, I'm not here to tell you off. I love the fact that we make so much music. I love it. I think it's so awesome, and I love it that it's a continuous. There's so much music, and it's just great. I love seeing it pop up in my feed every day. I go and listen to everything. I may not comment a lot, but I go and like and watch as much as I can. I try to play somebody at the end of every show each day. I'm watching. But sometimes I just think, oh man, if that was just baked a little bit more and there's a little bit more love put into the drums there, fuck, that would be stellar. And you know what? It really would be awesome on a level up here. And it probably only would have taken a little bit more time just to think about that stuff. So I'm saying all this with love. Love, because I only do this show because I want people to get better. I just want people to get better. That's all. I want people to be like, you should be learning everything every day. I am. You shouldn't. You should do whatever makes you happy. That's the most important thing. What can we do to figure this shit out and not worry about offending you? You're not. Just keep it in time. No, but look, here's the thing. I'm just going to, like, you don't have to like everything that you hear, right? That's unrealistic. It's not real, right? When you were growing up and you go and buy records from the record store, did you go and buy every record and go, I like that? Oh, no, I have to like that. No, you don't. And it's not you're not casting like evil on someone or anybody because you don't like that fucking song or you don't like that style of music. You like what you like, don't you? You know? And it's awesome to be kind and be supportive. So there's a difference between being a fucking asshole and being supportive. And or just being critical of a song. And I'm not here to like shit on you. I just, you know, as always, as a teacher, I want people to get better and better. And I want to get better. And I want to learn new things each day. That's why I constantly watch stuff and try and learn as much as I can. Every day I'm learning how to use a new app. Every day I'm trying to learn new techniques. Every day I realize I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But what little experience I have, I'm willing to share, and I just want to see people get better. That is all what this is all about, these rants, ultimately. And speaking of, here's somebody who I have had the pleasure of watching grow and grow and grow. And I'll give you a little bit of backstory. He came onto Patreon, and would send his songs in, and I just would go, dude, you have way too much reverb on your vocals. We can't hear you sing. And slowly but surely, Jerry Gomes took away that reverb, and we started to hear him sing more and more, and he could hear clarity in his voice because his voice is awesome, and that is just sick. And this guy puts together some great songs, and we're going to go out with his song today. Jerry Gomes, this is called Gonna Be Okay. It's brand new. It's incredibly in time. It sounds fantastic. And I'm going to say, send you over to Pete Johns. Do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. We'll all rise together and stay awake. This is Jerry Gomes. Thanks for hanging out at the Rant. Let's ooja.
Everything is gonna be okay. Then I step outside my front door into the pouring rain. Step back inside to grab my raincoat as I curse the day. It's hard to keep your head up when you're circling down the drain. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Step on a crack and break your mother's back. It's gonna be okay. No, I've not disappeared. I'm still doing okay. Sometimes I feel alive, sometimes I don't care. It just depends on the day. We're all riding this great big world as it spins off to somewhere. Ups and downs, there's enough to go around. You know I've had my share. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Stay on the path, and you can always make it back. It's gonna be okay. Oh, it's gonna be okay. Feeling today, there's something in the air. I'm not sure where I'm going to, I just know that it's out there. Sometimes it feels close at hand, sometimes it's miles away. It's right there in front of me, but what it is I cannot say. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Don't lose sight of the path, or you might not make it back. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I think it's gonna
See you over at Pete Johns for YML. Jerry Gomes is a... Ouch!